Today I'm going to talk about how to blend out a ledge between two surfaces, this face, and eventually blending it out into the adjacent face so it has a perfectly smooth transition across these two. Now, I like to use features that allow me to control the shape very smooth and cleanly. Now, I do not like to create a cutback and a cutback and just simply a transition surface or an S surface. You can do that, but in a lot of cases it's better to actually build all the way up and in through the transition with a couple of surfaces. You'll get potentially a better result, and you'll have something that you can actually change the way the highlights flow depending upon how you build. So in this case, I'm going to start out with just a couple of fillet surfaces. So I'll just go into styling fillet. I'm going to start out with this and this, and we'll just go to 8. And I'll do the same thing from here to here. Now that I have my fillets in place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these fillets as a reference to build my feature that's going to actually build the transition that I want. Now to do that, I'm going to start out with a couple of extractions. I'm going to extract, or actually quite a few extractions. So I'm going to go ahead and extract all of these edges. And then I'm going to go ahead and do an intersection. I want to intersect between here and here. And just to clean up the view a little bit, I'll go ahead and split this. And I'll change the color of these fillets. There we go. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to build a set of curves that are going to frame in my next surface. The surface that I'm going to build is going to go through here, and it's going to wrap around up to the top. Now you can go either way. You can build here and wrap around down to the bottom, depending upon how you want your light to flow. And let me go ahead and do some splits to, again, clean this up a little bit. I typically wait to the end to do all my splitting and such. It's just, for me, better practice. Now that I have that there, I'm going to go ahead and generate, again, a bit more reference element, few more reference elements. I'm going to create a plane. Now this plane is just normal to curve through that point, that intersection where these two surfaces come together. And then I'm going to do an intersection. I'm going to intersect this blend to here. Now that I have that, I have what I need to begin defining my transition surface up to this edge. The next thing I need to do is I'm going to create a split. I'm going to split this edge to these two curves. And you'll see why here in a minute. Now that I have that, I need to create one more curve. That curve is going to come from this point, and it's going to go all the way up to this point. That's going to be a spline. That's going to go from point here, tangent to this curve, reverse the direction to here. We'll say tangent to this curve, geometry on support. We'll put it onto this blend and select OK. Now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and create my surface, which I'm going to use a multi-section surface for. Now, the reason why I generated, let me go from section 1, is I needed to create a split at this end to basically trim back this edge. It's just this little segment. And tangent to there. Next, my guides. My first guide will be this spline, tangent to the surface, this edge, tangent to this surface, and select OK. Now let me go ahead and split everything up so you can see how that transition looks. That, split here to here. I've got those split, I've got all those split. Let me go ahead and hide all my curves. We'll go Tools, Hide, All Curves. We'll hide this, and we'll hide that. So here you can see that now this comes in and transitions out. This is a complete surface. It doesn't go off to a point. This is a complete surface. It doesn't go off to a point. If I need to make a modification, I can go ahead and easily modify this. I have a little bit of leeway with my blends. As you can see, as I make that bigger or smaller, it's going to update. So if I do the same thing for, let's say, this blend, I get that to update nice and clean. If I turn off my edges, now I just have tangency imposed everywhere, but it's still going to give me a good looking surface. If I went through and I imposed curvature on everything, it'd be a perfect, clean surface. So now this is the only surface that has that twist in it. It doesn't, the entire surface doesn't have the twist. You know, some people, like I said, will just simply do a bridge or blend surf from here to here, and away they go. My preference is to actually be able to control that light, control how that flows up and around. And again, you could reverse the order. You could actually have this so it blends out, so this light goes up. And again, depends on what it is you need. So that's a sure way, simple way to create transitions that blend off into another edge that are nice and tangent, curvature, and perfectly smooth.